Adjust. What are your thoughts?
First of all, it's always tough, thing when you lose teammates, and the trade deadline is always a difficult time for everybody, so, a huge shout out to my former teammates, Shump, D-Rose, Jay Crowder, Isaiah, D.Wade, and especially Channing. Losing a great guy like that and losing those great guys, period. We put in a lot of hard work over the years with myself and Channing and Shump. We won a championship together, so that's always difficult to lose a teammate as you had a great run with. Obviously, D.Wade, I've been teammates with him before. And then the small little doses that I was able to play with Jay and IT. Obviously wish it could have been a lot better than it was, but definitely wish all six guys, including D-Rose, like I said, the best.
Ron, what was your, reaction to the breadth of what they did yesterday?
Say that again?
What was your reaction or your takeaway from the breadth of what the front office did yesterday in terms of moving 6 guys, bringing in 4 new ones, a couple of the guys have longer-term deals, they're younger. What do you take away from what happened?
I think we became a younger team, more athletic. We added some more shooting as well. But we have to see how it meshes, obviously. But I like the pieces that we have coming in.
Ron, at 33, what's your goal for the rest of your career?
To keep playing at a high level. Continue to inspire the youth, and just be the role model that I am on and off the floor. So it doesn't matter what age you are. I think that's always been my DNA ever since I started on this journey.
How early were you aware that things of this nature were going on, this many things?
I actually found out about it around, what time was it? 12 something. D.Wade actually walked into the practice facility and asked me, did I see what happened? And he thought I was messing around with him when I told him I didn't. And he said it was a trade that happened with our team and that he possibly could be headed out as well. So that's when I kind of found out about it.
How tough was that moment with D-Wade, kind of, him kind of being uncertain?
Me and D-Wade, that ain't tough. I see him all the time. I'm happy as hell for D-Wade. He get to go back home. I think that's how it should be. I've always felt like, that's where his heart and his mind was. And, I think it's going to be great for him. I look forward to seeing the footage of him, being announced tonight back in Miami. But, obviously it's always, when your brother, you're around him every day and then he has to go back. But at the end of the day, it wasn't tough. I mean, we're both 15 years in the league. We know how the business is, but more importantly, we know we see each other all the time anyway. So get out of here, D-Wade.
How much did you watch Larry Nance Jr. over his time? I don't know if you saw him when he was a high school kid or.
I've watched everybody. I'm a fan of the game, so I know everybody's game.
Have you seen him sort of grow maybe as more of a scorer now? He's always kind of a defensive guy.
No, he's been more than just a defensive guy. He's a guy who can make the 15-foot jump shot if you lay off of him. He runs the floor exceptionally well. You can give him a pocket pass. You can throw him a lob, and he can finish at the rim. And he's going to add some more, speed and athleticism to our offense and defense. So he's more than just a defensive guy.
I'm doing a story on assistant coaches looking for their first opportunity. You had Stephen Silas when you first came in. Do you kind of remember working with him and maybe kind of seeing him now as a coach? That's kind of how he's maturing.
Well, I know I had him early. I mean, obviously, I was the head coach was his dad and Paul. But I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to comment on how I see him being a coach. And I'm not around him. That was my first year, so I'm not around him much. But I know he filled in for Steve. When he went out, with the health, and he's been around the game for such a long time. Either be an assistant to Steve or assistant to his father, or just being a basketball mind. So. If the opportunity arises, then I know he'll be ready for it. I believe, but I mean, I haven't been around him in a long time, so I don't know.
LeBron, you've taken it upon yourself to do these kind of pre-training camp, mini camps in Miami and in Santa Barbara, kind of organize the guys, get to know the new guys. Can you do anything at this stage of the season, or will you take anything upon yourself to get these 4 guys integrated?
Yeah, that's my job. It's my job to get these guys integrated as fast as possible. I know the coaching staff and Tilo is going to do it as well, but it's my job to get these guys on the same page with us, what we want to accomplish, what we want to do. So I look forward to getting them here.
LeBron, you talked about being a fan of the youth. Quavo donated a pair of your sneakers back to his local high school. How does that make you feel?
You saw my tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how I felt then. So I love that guy. I love what he's doing in his community. Obviously, as a musician, that's what he gets all the credit for. But I think what he's continued to do in his community, those are the things that last forever, and those are the things that the kids in his old high school and in his community will always remember and put smiles on their faces. So I commend that, and me and Quavo, we're really, really good friends.
LeBron, the last few All-Star games have been blowouts and not very entertaining at the end. Do you think you guys will have a little more sense of pride considering the way you and Steph drafted the teams?
We all got pride. It's not, we'll never take that out of question. We look forward to the game.
How long did it take you to calculate how the 4 new guys will fit in and how you can use them?
It doesn't take me long.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't take me long to see how those guys can help us. But obviously, you don't want to fast track it. You look at Jordan and Larry. They've been in the same system for quite a while now. Being with the Lakers, and Rodney's been in Utah his whole career. And I think it'd be a lot easier for George because he's much more of a veteran. He kind of knows. He's been around the block, and being a point guard, you've seen every set. You kind of know what's going on. So I think it'd be a lot easier transition for him. We'll see what happens. But they all 4 of them are pretty smart guys, and it should be fun.
How are you going to play Atlanta tonight?
What do you mean? How I'm gonna play Atlanta?
Well, what's the game plan for playing Atlanta?
Why would I tell you that? That makes no sense.
Considering Kevin's not coming back until maybe a month, do you feel okay about the time frame here? 29 regular season games, and
I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. So let's get it going. It is what it is. The front office made changes that they felt that best fit this franchise, and it's time to go to work. So it is what it is. It's not like do we have enough time? This is the time that we have, so let's make the most of it.
LeBron, Isaiah's month on the court, I mean, from a production standpoint, we all saw it didn't work here. Looking back on it, why do you think that didn't work in here?
I want Isaiah to get his bounce back, get his spring back, get healthy. He's kind of being out 7 months is difficult for anybody, and I just felt like he was just playing behind the 8 ball, not only on the floor, but just trying to get himself back to where he's accustomed to playing. And, I wish the best for him, in LA right now in his future. I want him to get that bounce back, get that spring back, and I wish him the best, that's for sure.
And coming back, not saying early as far as health-wise, but just, not conditioned and trying to find his legs, get his rhythm. I think it was tough for him, but, I commend him for just trying to come back, and trying to give us the help we needed because we were struggling at the time. So I wouldn't say it didn't work. I just didn't think, I just thought as far as time-wise, it wasn't a lot of time. But I do, like I said, commend him for, trying to come back early and trying to give us what he had.
How do you go about the process of getting all these guys acclimated in such a short span of time?
I mean, it's going to be some peaks and valleys, but I like what we've done. And I just know, we'll start playing good basketball at the right time when it matters, going into the playoffs. So, excited about the young guys we have, and, putting it all together is going to be fun. It's going to be a good ride.
Coach, with the makeover of the roster, how are you guys resetting the goal going forward for the season?
No resets. I mean, our focus and main goals since we've been here is to try to win a championship. So, no refocus.
How do you think getting younger will help some of the pacing and spacing that you want to do, particularly with your coach philosophy?
I think it helps us a lot defensively. I think offensively, just have a lot of live guys that are live off the dribble, getting to the basket, getting to loose balls, you know, rebounding the basketball and stuff like that. So we'll see.
Kobe said on the phone last night that you guys were huddling on the plane trying to figure stuff out. What were you trying to figure out, rotations, or what were you looking at film? Or what were you
When yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, just trying to figure out, you know, rotations and, you know, who will start and who will come off the bench and who will play with who. So we'll see how that works out.
What you got on that?
I don't have anything, Joe.
They, obviously, among the guys they moved yesterday was Dwayne, the future Hall of Famer, LeBron's best friend. What do you think that means to this team to have him go?
You know, it was great having him here. Just, you know, championship pedigree, like you said, a future Hall of Famer, and, you know, just a guy who, you know, gave everything he had on the court. And, you know, you hate to see that happen, hate to see him go, but, you know, Kobe talked to him and his agent, and they came up with a plan. So, you know, like I said, you never want to see anyone get traded or leave, especially when you build that bond, but it's part of the business.
You know, the guys who travel with you have seen how everything's been going the last 2 months, but Kobe described it yesterday as like a slow death march or something like that.
Oh, what?
A slow death march.
I don't know what that means.
He was referring to the path that we were on.
Yeah.
A slow death. Yesterday was not a slow death march, but
right.
The path that we had been on.
The path up until yesterday. Do you have any inkling as to what led to that, or just how things went from 18 out of 19 to that?
You know, it's just a basketball fit. I think a lot of times it's a basketball fit, and who fits what team, and, you know, what guys play best together. And it's just not the guys that left, it's the coaches and the guys are still here collectively. It just, you know, it wasn't a good fit, you know, for I don't know what reason, but, you know, it's just part of the game.
What are you gonna do tonight?
I'm gonna start Jose, Jetty, LeBron, JR, and Tristan.
Does having the deadline move change the way you make these adjustments with these guys compared to what you would have done after the break last year?
I really wasn't part of. I don't really know I really don't know the deadline like that, because it's the first time I really had to deal with it.
Right.
You know, but like I said, Sekou, it's just, you know, it's tough. You know, just, you know, you have a plan in place, you know, for the year and for the season. But we had a lot of injuries, and a lot of guys came back midway through, so which was tough for us. But it's my first time going through something like this, and like I said, you hate to see this day coming, because it happened to me as a player also. But, you know, it's part of the business, and it's tough.
You had a two-guard and put in a combo guard and Clarkson. Where does JR's starting role?
I think he still starts. You know, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be matchup based, because till Kevin gets back, we really don't know. But I can see Hood and JR starting together. You know, so we just got to see how it unfolds.
Considering how late Kevin could come back, could you still be mixing and matching all this when the playoffs begin?
No, I think once Kevin gets back, we'll have a set rotation. You know, I just think with Kevin being out and teams starting bigger, when you play in Detroit or you play, you know, like teams like who we played the other day, Minnesota with Big Taj Gibson and Big Cat. It all just depends and varies from there.
Coming in the midseason as the head coach in 16, does that 5 out of 6 years of advanced experience something at all with this? Like, if I can do that and get that team to the championship, I can deal with a completely different roster.
I mean, come in, you know, in the midst of all that, I can't handle a lot of things, and you know, I can get through a lot of stuff, and you know, just for me in the game of basketball, you know, I just think you gotta play the game you love to the best of your ability, and I think when you're playing hard and leave it on the floor, you can live with the results, and that's my biggest thing, is just playing the game the right way and giving the game back what you're supposed to.
You're doing a feature on assistant coaches who are looking for their first chance as a head coach. When you came in, was there a moment somewhere in that season or somewhere maybe that next year when you knew you really were ready as a head coach, or you like belonged at it?
No. I mean, you always, you know, my goal was to be a head coach, but you never know until you actually get a chance and opportunity. There wasn't no set time where, you know, like I'm ready to be a head coach, because you never know. And I thought my coaching style would be a lot different than it is now. But, you know, you got to adjust to your team and who you have on the floor.
Can you appreciate how Larry Nance Jr. feels coming here to play where his dad played?
Oh, I think he's excited. I know his parents are excited, to have him come back. And, we're excited to have him. Versatile guy, can play the 4 and the 5, can switch a lot defensively, great offensive rebounder, gets all the loose 50-50 balls, and, great hands defensively. So, we're excited to have him.
What's been that greatest change for you from what you thought it was going to be to what it actually is?
I don't know yet because we haven't played. But, I think, getting younger, more athletic, having more live guys, I think, off the dribble now. And we'll just, see how it plays out.
No, I was meaning with your own coaching style. You said your coaching style, for what you thought it was, it has changed to what it
I thought I'd be more of a sit-down guy and direct from there. But, that's not the case. But maybe one day I'll get there.